welcome back everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Actual English. My name is Jennifer Clyde. It's time for lesson 98 and today let's talk about superstitions. So do you believe in superstition? I kind of do. Not completely, but yes, to a certain extent. I think it's, sometimes you believe things, sometimes you don't. So it could be that you believe the things that you want to believe and you try to avoid the things you don't want to believe. So that's the case for me sometimes. Anyway, so we'll talk about superstitions. Whether you believe in ghosts, for example, whether you believe in fortune telling, whether you believe that certain things are bad luck, what certain things symbolize. Okay, are you ready? Let's begin with today's actual talk.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about today, Peter.
Why?
I saw a black cat on my way to work. I mean, I'm not a very superstitious person, but still, just knowing about that superstition itself.
It's just a cat.
I know. But the first thing I saw as I walked out of the house was a black cat. And that got to me.
Really? What does the black cat symbolize?
Bad luck, I guess. Are you a superstitious person?
Okay, so then is
Obviously
it bad
not.
luck to be born a black cat? Apparently, if nobody likes them.
What else are there? If you walk under a ladder? Isn't that
That's an American thing, yeah. If you walk under a ladder, you'll have bad luck. Or if you open your umbrella indoors or break a mirror, you'll have 7 years of bad luck.
Right.
But it's all just a bunch of, religious, superstitious mumbo-jumbo.
Have you heard of any Korean superstitions?
Yeah, there's some interesting ones. I actually was whistling the other day, or talking about whistling. And
Not at night.
yeah, apparently you're not supposed to whistle at night in Korea because it'll bring out the snakes.
Yes, yes. I think there are a lot of superstitions in Korea that are fun as well.
Yeah.
For example, exam-related superstitions.
Okay.
If you have seaweed soup just before an exam, it'll make you slip and fail. And if you have chewy like toffee or taffy, it'll help you stick to the right answers and pass the exam. Stuff like that.
Okay. and then there's stuff about dreams. Like if you dream of a dragon, you'll have a baby.
Okay.
Something like that.
I think I've heard of dreaming of a dragon and a tiger, you have a baby boy, but that's not always the case.
Okay.
What about pig dreams?
Oh, that's money.
Money. I hope I have one tonight.
Yeah, let's go get some money.
Are you ready for today's actual talk, everyone? Hope you enjoyed the conversation and learned a bit of American superstitions. Well, let's talk a little bit about what people tend to believe in Korea. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but for those that believe in superstition, those that are superstitious, in other words, you may believe that cutting your nails late at night is bad luck. You shouldn't do that. I heard that if you do that, snakes appear from somewhere. What else should you not do? You shouldn't whistle at night. Because that will call upon, yes, snakes. What else? You shouldn't step on those, the moldings of the door when you go into a room. I heard that as well. Many more interesting things. I just can't remember right now. But there are superstitions that people believe or tend to believe in. Anyhow, let's take a look at the conversation then. Now, Joanne says, I have a bad feeling about today. This is one of our patterns. It actually will be our first pattern. Now, have a certain feeling about something. Have a certain feeling about something. You can walk into a room and say, I have a strange feeling about this room, which means that you feel a bit uncomfortable. But Joanne says, I have a bad feeling about today. So she's sensing that something bad might happen. It's not a very good feeling. She has a bad feeling about today, meaning she thinks that something could possibly go wrong. So Peter asks, why? Now she says, I saw a black cat on my way to work. I'm not a very superstitious person, but still, superstitious. We're talking about superstition or superstitions today. Now, a superstitious person is a person that believes in superstition. Okay? Are you superstitious? Is another way of asking, are you a type of person that believes in superstition? It's a very long sentence. You could really simplify it. Are you superstitious? I'm superstitious. I'm not superstitious. So she says, well, I'm not a very superstitious person, but still, it's really annoying me. It's bothering me. The fact that I saw a black cat on my way to work. Peter says, so, what's the big deal? It's just a cat. It's nothing serious, it's only a cat. Now she says, I know, but the first thing I saw as I walked out of the house was a black cat. And that got to me. What does that mean? And that got to me? Does that mean that the black cat walked over to her? No. In this case, she's saying that something got to her. It's really disturbing her. It's annoying her. It's frustrating her, obviously, because she's worried. But to get to somebody, it means to influence someone, okay? And to affect someone in a bad way, affect adversely, for example. So she's saying that black cat that I saw, it just got to me. He says, really? So what does the black cat symbolize? Okay, as you can see here, we've got a Z at the end. Symbolize. In American English, usually the word is spelled with a Z, but in British English, it's often also spelled with an S in place of the Z. So it's S-Y-M-B-O-L-I-S-E. Symbolize. Symbolize. What does it stand for? Okay, what is it a symbol of? So what does the black cat symbolize? She simply says bad luck, I guess. Bad luck. Black cats symbolize bad luck. Are you a superstitious person? She asks. Once again, superstitious. Do you believe in superstition, Peter? Obviously you're not. What else are there? And then she gives examples. Walking under a ladder. Now that is considered bad luck in the States. I don't know if it is in Korea, but it's definitely bad luck. So they say don't walk under a ladder. So Peter says, I think that's an American thing. That is an American thing. That's our pattern as well. You can say that's a Korean thing. That's an American thing. That's a guy thing, and so on and so forth. It just means that it is a type of thing or a custom or something that people from a certain country or an area or even a gender tend to do. We'll go over this pattern later on together. Now, if you walk under a ladder, you'll have bad luck. Have bad luck. Or if you open your umbrella indoors, I've heard this one. Or if you break a mirror, you'll have 7 years of bad luck. I heard this about the mirror. I think Koreans believe in this too. If you break a mirror, you believe that you will have bad luck for 7 years. Oh, what about this one? You go to a wedding and the bride throws the bouquet and you receive it. Somehow it lands on you. If you don't get married within the next 6 months, they say that you can't get married for the next 3 years. Now that's considered bad luck, and that is a superstition as well. And yeah, they're giving examples of certain superstitions, okay? Number one, once again, walking under a ladder, that's considered bad luck. Or if you open your umbrella indoors, inside your house, for example, that's bad luck. Or if you break a mirror, you'll have 7 years of bad luck. Now, Peter says, but it's all just a bunch of religious, superstitious mumbo-jumbo. Mumbo-jumbo. A mumbo-jumbo is, in other words, simply put, it means nonsense. Okay? Something that's not worth believing in. It's like a fake fact. Okay? We'll go over that word later on, find out some more synonyms of it. So he's saying it's nonsense, you know? Now, Joanne asks, have you heard of any Korean superstitions? And Peter answers, there are some interesting ones. Actually, he says, I was whistling the other day. And Joanne says, oh no, not at night. And he says, yeah, apparently you're not supposed to whistle at night in Korea. Why? Because it will bring out the snakes. It will call out the snakes. It will bring out the snakes. If you whistle at night, they say the snakes will start crawling out. Okay, that is a Korean superstition. Joanne says, yes. I think there are a lot of superstitions in Korea that are fun as well. Okay, and of course, Peter says, yeah, I guess he wants to learn more. For example, she gives examples. Exam-related superstitions, meaning superstitions that have to do with exams. Okay? If you have seaweed soup just before an exam, it'll make you slip and fail. Okay? So in other words, you will not pass the exam if you have seaweed soup before you take the college entrance exam or a very important exam. And if you have something chewy, like toffee or taffy, okay, very sweet, it'll help you pass the exam. So these are a few exam-related superstitions. Now Peter says, oh, and then there's stuff about dreams. If you dream of a dragon, dream of something. If you dream of a dragon, you'll have a baby. I believe if you have a dream of a dragon, it's supposed to symbolize a son. I'm not sure, but I think that's what I heard. Okay. And then they move on to talking about what else they've heard. Joanne says, I think I've heard of dreaming of a dragon or a tiger that you'll have a baby boy. That's right. So I guess Joanne and I agree. Guess I wasn't wrong after all. But that's not always the case. That's not always the case. Now, case here, we're not talking about a certain box or a package or perhaps even a briefcase. We're talking about a circumstance, a situation, happening, incident, for example. So she says, but that's not always the case, meaning, but that's not always true. Okay? What about pig dreams, she asks. Well, Peter says, oh, that's money. Pig dreams, yeah, I think that's what I heard too. Meaning, pig dreams symbolize money. And of course, Joanne says, I hope I have one tonight. Meaning, one, I hope I have a pig dream tonight. Well, I hope you do, or I hope you did have a pig dream, Joanne. And I hope that I have the pig dream too. Okay, that is about it for today's actual talk conversation. Listen to it one more time. Here it is.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about today, Peter.
What?
I saw a black cat on my way to work. I mean, I'm not a very superstitious person, but still, I mean, just knowing about that superstition itself.
It's just a cat.
I know. But the first thing I saw as I walked out of the house was a black cat. And that got to me.
Really? What? So, what does the black cat symbolize?
Bad luck, I guess. I mean, are you a superstitious person?
Okay, so then is
Obviously
it bad
not.
luck to be born a black cat? Apparently, if nobody likes them.
What else are there? If you walk under a ladder? I mean, isn't that
Well, that's an American thing, yeah. If you walk under a ladder, you'll have bad luck. Or if you open your umbrella indoors or break a mirror, you'll have 7 years of bad luck.
Right.
But it's all just a bunch of, religious, superstitious mumbo-jumbo.
Have you heard of any Korean superstitions?
Yeah, there's some interesting ones. I actually was whistling the other day, or talking about whistling. And
Oh, not at night.
yeah, apparently you're not supposed to whistle at night in
No.
Korea because it'll bring out the snakes.
Yes, yes. I think there are a lot of superstitions in Korea that are fun as well.
Yeah.
For example, exam-related superstitions.
Okay.
If you have seaweed soup just before an exam, it'll make you slip and fail. And if you have chewy like toffee or taffy, it'll help you stick to the right answers and pass the exam. Stuff like that.
Oh, okay. And then there's stuff about dreams. Like if you dream of a dragon, you'll have a baby.
Okay.
Something like that.
I think I've heard of dreaming of a dragon and a tiger, you have a baby boy, but that's not always the case.
Okay.
What about pig dreams?
Oh, that's money.
Money. I hope I have one tonight.
Yeah, let's go get some money.
Hope you had a better understanding of the actual talk conversation. The actual talk wasn't too difficult today, right? I thought it was pretty interesting. We had a chance to talk about American superstition as well as Korean superstitions. Okay, now it's time for actual expressions. Let's take a look at some vocab words. Now, we do have a few for you first. Superstitious. We're talking about superstitions today. If you believe in superstition, you could be superstitious. Okay, superstitious. Stress goes right there on the third syllable. Let's do it 2 times. Superstitious. Superstitious. Very good. What about symbolize? It means to signify, even to mean, to be a symbol of. What about mumbo jumbo? I did mention this earlier on. Now, this is something that people do not want to believe in. It's not worth believing in because it's nonsense. It's a fake fact, perhaps, that sounds very interesting or that appears very interesting, but it's a fake fact. It's nonsense. So, yes, mumbo jumbo. Stress these syllables. Mumbo jumbo. It means meaningless. Nonsense. What about case? As I mentioned, we're not talking about a package or a box or any type of luggage such as a briefcase. We're talking about an instance, a situation, or even a circumstance. Okay? Case. That's not always the case, is what Joanne mentioned in today's actual talk. Okay then, let's move on to our patterns. Have a certain feeling about something or someone. This is what Joanne said in the beginning of today's actual talk. She said, I have a bad feeling about today. Meaning, I feel like something bad is going to happen today. I have a bad feeling. Okay, so let's practice with a few sentences. I have a bad feeling about him. I have a bad feeling about him. Now, what does that mean? I have a bad feeling about him. You don't know why. There is no specific reason. But sometimes some people just give off a very negative vibe, a very negative feeling, a negative something, okay? And you sense that, this person, I don't think he's a good person. I don't think she and I will get along. In that kind of situation, you can say, I have a bad feeling about him. I have a bad feeling about her. Or if you don't feel comfortable about a certain situation and you think something bad could happen, you can say, I have a bad feeling about this or it, and so forth. Another sentence is, for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, we all had a good feeling about the project. We all felt that the project was going to do well. We were all going to do well with the project. We felt that we were going to succeed. So you could have a good feeling about something as well as a bad feeling about something. What about this one? Get to. We're not talking about arriving at a certain destination. We're talking about being influenced, right? I mentioned something about adverse. That's right, something negative. Let's move on. Sentence. His voice really gets to me. Now, what's annoying? What is giving you that bad feeling? His voice. His voice really gets to me. To affect adversely, to affect negatively. So if somebody's voice is really annoying you, if it's irritating you, you can say, oh, his voice really gets to me. One more time. His voice really gets to me. What about this one? Her whining really got to me. Let's take it into the past. Some girls whine, or even little babies whine. In that case, you can say, her whining or his whining really got to me. It really, really irritated me. It really bothered me. It frustrated me. Oh, I couldn't handle it. Okay, let's take a look at one last pattern. Something is a or un, country, city, region, and then you add the thing. You could also add gender as well. We'll take a look at that sample too. Now, in the actual talk conversation, it was Peter that mentioned it's an American thing, right? So you can say pouring alcohol to elders with two hands, okay, with two hands is a Korean thing. 한국적인 것이다. Okay, simply put. Pouring alcohol to elders with two hands is a Korean thing. Okay? What about this one? Guys will never understand. Guys will never understand because it's a girl thing. Okay? It's a girl thing. Only girls know. It's something that girls tend to do. That's why guys will never understand. Or vice versa, you can say, girls will never understand. It's a guy's thing, or it's a guy thing as well. So, you want to talk about something like a custom or a certain thing that is done by people from a certain country, city, region, or even gender. Keep this pattern in mind. It's a girl thing. It's a guy thing. It's a Korean thing. It's an American thing. It's a British thing, and so on and so forth. Okay, that brings us to an end to today's actual expressions. Job well done.
So I think superstition is a way of controlling people's behavior more than based on reality or anything like that. I mean, think about it. If you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck. Well, I don't think that's true. I've broken mirrors before and I didn't have 7 years of bad luck, but it's a really bad idea to break mirrors. Walking underneath a ladder is considered bad luck in the United States, and honestly, that's just a bad idea. I mean, the ladder could collapse, somebody could drop something on you. It's better to avoid ladders. What else? Black cats crossing your paths. Back in the Salem witch trials days, people used to say that cats were the familiars of witches and that they would curse you by a black cat crossing your path. So it's considered bad luck. Friday the 13th. Not a particularly unlucky day. It's a funny number and it's on a Friday. And there's a horror movie series based on that. So whatever.
Thanks to Garen once again. Today's topic is superstition, and so is our actual story based on. It's based on superstition, so let's check it out together. Here we go. I think superstition is a way of controlling people's behavior more than based on reality. Saying it has nothing to do with reality, or it has a little bit to do with reality, but it has more to do with what? Controlling people's behavior. Meaning, well, it's not real, but it somehow controls people's behavior and thoughts, for example. I think superstition is a way of controlling people's behavior more than based on reality. Okay, what else? If you break a mirror. All right, here we go once again. We talked about breaking a mirror. If you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck. I added of here. You can either say 7 years of bad luck or omit the of and say 7 years bad luck. Let's try it together. If you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck. Okay? Next one. I don't think that's true. Sure. Talk about today's topic, whatever topic it is. Talk about what you think and also mention whether you agree or disagree. So, if you don't think it's true, say, I don't think that's true. I've broken mirrors before, and I didn't have 7 years of bad luck. Aha. So we're talking about an experience. Broken mirrors before, but, well, ended up not having 7 years of bad luck. Moving on. Walking underneath a ladder. So once again, walking under or underneath a ladder is considered bad luck, is thought of bad luck, is considered bad luck where? In the United States. Okay? So you can mention something about a Korean superstition and say, doing something is considered bad luck in Korea, for example. Okay, let's take a look at one last sentence. People used to say, now used to say, so we're talking about what people thought in the past. People used to say that cats were the familiars of witches, meaning they were somehow related. They were very familiar. They were very similar, okay? They were very similar to witches. So a black cat crossing your path was considered bad luck. Once again, considered, thought of as bad luck. Yeah, I like black cats though. For some reason, when people say that the number 4 is bad luck, I somehow like the number 4. If people don't like black cats because they say it's bad luck, I somehow want to, I guess, take care of black cats. So I like black cats. I don't know what the story is for you, but yeah, these are wonderful ways you can talk about today's topic, so go over them one more time.
So I think superstition is a way of controlling people's behavior more than based on reality or anything like that. I mean, think about it. If you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck. Well, I don't think that's true. I've broken mirrors before and I didn't have 7 years of bad luck, but it's a really bad idea to break mirrors. Walking underneath a ladder is considered bad luck in the United States, and honestly, that's just a bad idea. I mean, the ladder could collapse, somebody could drop something on you. It's better to avoid ladders. What else? Black cats crossing your paths. Back in the Salem witch trials days, people used to say that cats were the familiars of witches and that they would curse you by a black cat crossing your path. So it's considered bad luck. Friday the 13th. Not a particularly unlucky day. It's a funny number and it's on a Friday. And there's a horror movie series based on that. So whatever.
I don't know if it's because I'm slightly superstitious. This topic really interests me. Just a while back, I was talking about what kinds of Korean superstitions there are, and a few people helped me out. Our producer even said that writing your name in red ink in Korea is considered bad luck because, I guess in the past, they only wrote the names of people that already passed away in red ink or with red ink. What about hanging dried pollock above your door of restaurants or even houses when you move to a new place? Or even pouring makgeolli, like rice wine, on the 4 tires of your car when you get a new car, and perhaps keeping a dried pollock in your car. That's all about Korean superstition. Okay, you can talk about so much more on your own in a group or even on your own in an interview, so I hope you do well. Next time, let's talk about fortune telling. So please do join me for that. In the meantime, come to our homepage, to www.ebse.co.kr. Leave us some messages, comments, hopefully some great comments. Okay, until next time, take care and bye for now. Bye, everyone.